Hello there, Dr. Frankenstein. Glad to see you again, Doc Nation, brothers and sisters. You know, Dr. Frankenstein is not in a very playful mood today. Dr. Frankenstein likes to laugh and spread humor. However, sometimes we have to get on down to the truth. Sometimes the truth is a bitter pill. Sometimes we must swallow a bitter pill in order to get well. The bitter pill of truth is sometimes necessary to set us free. Dr. Frankenstein is a little heavy laden today as it reflects on the condition of the relationships between African Americans in this country, especially the killing, the stealing, the lying, the jealousy, the lack of respect we show towards one another, the lack of love for one another. These problems contribute greatly to all that's bad in our communities and in our country. Some time ago, Dr. Frankenstein wrote something called Black People in Trouble. This piece is present in his recently published book by Dr. David C. Franklin, entitled Profundity 1, available on Amazon.com and Barnes & Noble. Listen carefully as we outline 13 reasons why Black Americans are in trouble in this country today. Black people in America are in trouble because, like the children of Israel, we've turned our backs on God, who delivered us out of physical bondage. We've traded our spirituality for education, affluence, and power and religion. These we now worship and will do almost anything to acquire them. Black people in America are in trouble because we are ignorant of our past and continually repeat the mistakes of our predecessors. There is no hunger or desire to know the truth about our ancestry, early civilizations and contributions to the world, the sacrifices of our foreparents or their love for God and for one another. Consequently, we are deceived by the literature of our oppressors and present-day media, readily accepting the fallacies, omissions, and negative stereotypes presented to us by historical books, newspapers, magazines, television, and movies. Because we don't know our history, we don't know who we are, what we have done, are capable of doing, and finally, what we need to do to get where we want to go. And where is that? Black people in America are in trouble because our children are lost, over half raised by a single parent and some without either. Even when both parents are present, their ignorance of who they are and where they are going is more apt to be passed on to their offspring to further this cycle of doom. The message we send to our children is that love is not important, just make it at all costs. And this unpalatable fruit has come home to roost in the form of black boys killing one another, black babies having babies, drug-infested black neighborhoods, unemployment rates deplorable, alarming high school dropout rates, and a deplorable situation. We are in trouble because we don't love one another. I say it again. We don't love one another. Because we've bought into the negative stereotyping of our people, and because we are willing to make it at all costs, we find the easiest way to ascend the ladder of success is by stepping on the backs of our brothers and sisters. Our children see this and take note, for they aspire also to make it. A form of hatred, a malignant jealousy, has been spawned in the hearts of black Americans, and it might be said that these feelings we harbor for one another are the principal barriers to our success in this country. A bitter pill. Black people in America are in trouble because viable black male-female relationships are at an all-time low. The pool of eligible black males is reduced by imprisonment, homosexuality, interracial marriages and affairs, unemployment, and lack of marketable skills, homicide, AIDS, other diseases, and premature death. This disparity of too few black males to accommodate black females places an enormous burden on the survival of black marriages and courtships. As we assume the ways of the dominant society and resolve to make it at all costs, our personal relationships become just another battlefield where our partners are enemies to be conquered, used, and when their purpose is served, discarded. Because of this warfare between the black man and woman, black families are suffering and divorces are rising. A cycle of broken families is sustained by children produced in these relationships. When will the black man and the black woman of America sit down as equals, abandon hidden agendas, check the egos in at the door, and enter into earnest dialogue, heal old wounds, and resolve to save our race by securing the black family structure? We are in trouble because of a generalized lack of unity. We've decided it is more profitable to align ourselves with the dominant society, giving full allegiance to the same, turn our backs on our people and our heritage, our communities, and our children. It's no longer what's best for my people, but what's best for me. When given the opportunity to assume the reins of leadership and the responsibility of representing our people, we sell out at the first available opportunity. Black people in America are in trouble because we don't hold ourselves or those chosen to represent us accountable for our actions. Consequently, we all suffer. A price should be paid by those amongst us who sacrifice loyalty and integrity for personal gain. Such actions should not be rewarded with re-election or promotion. Black people in America are in trouble because we have not dedicated ourselves to solving the problems that threaten the survival of our people. We lack vision and tend to be reactionary rather than proactive. Little real progress is made in this mode. We're in trouble because we don't think for ourselves. Others define for us what is beautiful, intelligent, good, and acceptable. And of course, the antithesis of these, which in this culture we find most often attributable to us. Black people in America are in trouble because we are enslaved by a defunct value system, deciding too often to serve the flesh instead of the spirit. We seem to have mortgaged all that's dear, our relationship with God, our children's future, our heritage and legacy, all for the material enticements of this world. Black Americans are in trouble, I say. We have been deceived and hoodwinked to believe that what the world offers is greater and more certain than what God offers, namely eternal life and blessings so marvelous and splendid our wildest imaginations could not fathom them. We're in trouble, I tell you, because we have become complacent and trusting in the power merchants of America, resting on the sacrifices and achievements of our predecessors, and as such are at risk of losing all we've gained. Unfortunately, it may be necessary to lose all to gain true prosperity. Wake up, Black America. I said wake up. Accept this call to action. Raise high your antennas to the Almighty. Meditate and pray and listen for His divine instructions. Sit at the conference table with your brothers and sisters in dialogue and earnestness and truth. Come together in brotherly love and commit to building strong Black families and communities that will nurture our children. Unity is the key, as the psalmist exclaims in Psalms 133, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. For it is at unity that God commands the blessings over His people. The very instant we come together, God will bless us with His presence and usher in all the necessary wisdom, knowledge, understanding, inspiration, and courage to do the work of reviving our people. Let's get on it. Until next time, this is Dr. Franklin Stein on Dark Nation. Peace, love, God bless.